Hey there and welcome. Today's video is gonna be a little bit different than usual. You might not know this, but I don't just make dumb YouTube videos. Sometimes I actually work with serious footage, like 4K, even 6K stuff, and I don't just edit or color it. I do VFX cleanup, tracking, compositing, basically the whole package. And if you imagine that I must have a monster PC to handle all that, you'd be very wrong. I'm working with an RTX 3060 that wants to end it all every time I load a new 6K RAW project. So today, I'm sharing my list of real optimization tips and tricks for Davinci Resolve. Not only the usual use proxies and lower playback resolution kind of scene, we're going deeper. What's wrong with most tutorials? You've probably already seen a bunch of DaVinci optimization videos on YouTube. I've seen them too. The problem is, half of them just say the same stuff. Use proxies, lower your timeline resolution to quarter. Okay, that's a good advice, but it's not enough. Then you find another video. It has one useful tip buried in 10 minutes of fluff. So you have to watch 10 of those just to get a couple of tips? Well, not today. Today I'm giving you my definitive list of DaVinci Resolve performance hacks. At least for now. If I discover more later, I'll make a part 2. Let's go. Yes, I joked about this earlier, but proxies are still one of the best tools you've got. Just select your original clips, right-click, open proxy media, and hit generate proxies. You'll be editing using lighter files that are way easier on your system, but when you render, it still uses the full resolution originals. Win-win. Now, proxies aren't a miracle cure. If your project is really heavy, Resolve might still crash during render, but we'll talk about how to deal with that later. Also, smash like and subscribe while we're here. Super simple. This just reduces the resolution of the video while you're editing, makes playback smoother, doesn't affect final output. Now, this one is little more controversial. In theory, you monitor your timeline in 1080p already. It shouldn't matter if your timeline is 4K, right? Nuh-uh, it's wrong. As someone with a potato PC, I can confirm lowering the timeline resolution to 1080p actually helps performance. It just feels less laggy. But there are some downsides. Firstly, you have to remember to change it back before rendering. Super easy to forget. And second, every time you change the timeline resolution, magic masks need to be regenerated, which sucks. Some other fusion nodes might break too, though I haven't seen that myself. Under the playback settings, there's a render cache option. It's usually set to smart. That means Resolve will try to cache everything, which sounds nice, but actually chews through all of your system resources. Instead, set it to user. This way, you choose exactly which clips to cache. Or leave it on smart and disable every clip you're not actively working on. To disable clips temporarily, you just select them and press D. I prefer the latter method. You keep smart caching, but avoid unnecessary load. If you have the studio version of Davinci Resolve, then you probably used Magic Mask or Magic Mask 2, those amazing AI tools. They are fantastic, but also insanely heavy on your system. Generating a mask is brutal. After that, playback gets better, but it still eats performance. So you should save your masks, export them once, and reuse them as lightweight Luma mats. Here's how to do it in the Fusion page. Connect your Magic Mask to a saver node. Choose a folder and a file name. Then go to the top menu, Fusion, render all savers, and it's done. Now you have an image sequence of a mask. Bring it back with a loader node. Now you can use that saved mask in any composition, and your PC will love you for it. And now here's how to do it in the color page. This one is trickier, but it works. First, track your mask. In the node editor, right-click and choose Add Source. Then, also add alpha output. Create a color generator node. Set it to white. Plug in the mask's alpha into the color generator alpha channel. Connect your new source into the color generator. Then connect both of the color generator outputs to the timeline output. You now have a Luma Mate version of your mask. Export it from the Deliver tab. H.264 is fine, or you can use ProRes. Now you import video inside the Resolve and use it as a Luma Mate inside the Fusion or back in the Color tab. Also, surprise bonus, this is how you can use Magic Mask 2 inside the Fusion page. This one is tiny, but effective. In Fusion page, right-click near the Play Stop buttons and disable motion blur and high quality. It won't look as pretty while you work, but the responsiveness boost is real. Good for troubleshooting or just moving faster. This one is huge. If you ever done object removal with planar tracker plus stabilize plus reverse stabilize, you know the pain. This setup kills performance, especially if you have multiple nodes chained together. Here's how to make it suck less. Ditch the first stabilizer node. If you already made your patch, you don't always need the initial stabilize node anymore. Just feed your patch directly into the reverse stabilize node, then merge it over the original clip. Sometimes you'll need to first merge it into a transparent background node to get the right resolution. That alone boosted my playback and cutted my render time from 2.5 hours down to just 1 hour. But wait, it gets better. Save static patches as PNGs. Let's say your patch is just a freeze frame from the clip. You masked it, added grain and blur. Done. But now your PC continue to recalculate the time speed and paint nodes every frame. And you don't need that. Instead, just export the patch as a PNG. Now re-import it and apply your effects again. Visually, it looks the same. Performance-wise, huge gain. If your patch isn't a still image, then use a saver node to export a video instead. That alone dropped my render time again from 1 hour to just 10 to 15 minutes. Incredible difference. You can also render your patches static or moving with their alpha channel intact. As I can see, few people know this, but Apple ProRes 4 supports alpha. So export your patch with transparency, then merge it directly over your original video later. Great for modular workflows. Almost nobody talks about this, but this one is a game changer. Firstly, I learned it from an Autodesk Flame user. Instead of working on a full 4K image, isolate the exact region you're modifying. Create a crop node, and with this select tool, work only on a small chunk of whatever you need. Way lighter. And when you're done, copy your crop node, reset its values, invert the offset. This places the patch back in its original position. You can see this technique on a Creative Video Tips channel. That guy is a real deal, one of the few tutorial creators who doesn't treat viewers like total noobs. This one is really useful. Right-click a clip and select Render in Place. It bakes your effects and changes into a fresh clip. But it keeps a link to the original. You can still decompose it later if you need to go back. Very useful if you've done a lot of changes and just want to scrub through a timeline smoothly. Also, apparently helpful for working in the cloud, but I've never tried that, so I can't confirm. So that's it. These are the life hacks that helped me survive editing in Davinci Resolve on my half-dead PC. Hopefully they'll help you too. If I find more tricks, I'll make another video. But for now, I'm going back to my usual wacky content. Thanks for watching. Smash like, leave a comment and subscribe. Have a nice evening. Yanko out.